How is Sifu? I Mahmoud na menji na adwenkyerɛ on this lawyer expectation Monday at the same.
Yo, senior medawase. Me chia ye tiefo yina krokra ne me constituency omo nya adaje a omo tie mi ayumbre and the NDC fraternity in Ashanti region. And for that matter, I think I'm on TV, so I was taking these radios, and so all over the world, no, I think they are watching us. Yes, me find the main expected from the finance ministry on this media budget review. The me expecting say he should on try as much as possible. Now on yet the most honorable thing this time around. You should stop on dishonesty no as a finance minister no. On lies. You should on manam sambe kase ye way this road, this interchange are on contrast there, you know. We don't expect to hear that from him in this media budget. Me sinakusi kasai or kase or expect say he will come and then obabe outlining the structure of how to rebuild the economy. But all cano or base that point on the COVID, Russia-Ukraine war and others. But yeah, when the finance minister read the 2023 budget, by then COVID was over, or even said, Egusu or COVID Mokrana, I think that was the right time for us to come out with those measures. But one yet, what we rather heard was he came and mentioned, I think, Kumasun Kwa or Promise saying 4 interchanges. Or was it not in this 2023 budget? Or by then had the economy recovered from the so-called COVID and then the Ukraine-Russian war? No. Where was he expecting the finances from? Up to now, no, apart from interchange, yeah, share that day, I can't say pick up honum and also crying just to reduce the pressure and please the likes of Huntumi and Co. Moye several press conferences. Demanding say abine and ye bibi kakra and convince Asante we are yet to see any serious effort or step towards those 4 interchange projects that the finance minister promised that in the main budget, not even the mid-year budget as we speak. Yes, Eduardo in Kenya. He is a public, Mr. Buafu, a public servant, just like myself a year ago or some months ago. I don't know, unless he happens to be the Cecilia the part type. Because, council, now, men who cry or private practice, you cry.
No, me bow. I mean, we'll look at the special office of the social prosecutors issue, but when you make a person's statement, unless he is somebody's type, I mean, you as a lawyer, as lawyers, we don't have to be prejudicial about this.
No,
thing.
but but don't also put words on my mouth because you do not know where I'm going to land. Yes, and so public sector, ye inanim bra or more say yen cut or salary impo yen reduce or salary yen castle being caught leave without pay for a year, senior also gets see. I know in Ampono, public sector workers are struggling to make 3 meals a day in Ghana as we speak. And so for a public servant like him to make such a pronouncement at a time that food inflation in Ghana is hovering around 53%, it's quite unfortunate. I don't think.
No, but I didn't. It was can be perceived, but
yes,
it will also not be fair to him if I don't intervene because they are not all children. They said these were options on the table.
I'm saying there are options on the table.
Yes, I get it. I was expecting that as a public servant who depends on a major salary should have rather agreed with the many other Ghanaians who was calling on the president to reduce the size of his government. The numerous, and excuse my language, to some extent, I think to say useless would be too harsh, presidential staffers who are all over the presidency, who earns ×4 of what he earns as a public sector here, sitting here. The president did not hear to the calls of Ghanaians. And as we speak, this government still run the larger size in terms of what? Its appointees. More than any other government since we returned into what do they call it, a democratic governance. And so, yes, his predecessors, the likes of President Kufuor, Mills, and then Mahama, for instance, even their time, but did they run that size of government? No. And so, if one wants to address the way governments should have do in terms of bringing the economy back to from the COVID and then the Russian-Ukrainian war, then these are the major issues I say, you tackle it. You reduce the size of your government, and where possible, you reduce the salary of these appointees. Government never did that. And so, yes, I think as we speak, the independent power producers, when we come to the energy sector, the independent power producers is complaining that government is owing them to the tune of 2.2 billion, which they don't know. I think per their last meeting with government, they were expecting that government would have come out with the structure or the ways upon which they can get some payment of the debt owed to them. Today they were on news again that they've not heard anything, and the month is almost ended. And so one would have expected that yes, these are the things that when the finance minister comes to read this mid-year budget, he should come out with policies to assure us that he will, or the country is in a better position to settle some of these debts, so that we will be quite sure that we will not be, going to do so any time soon. And moreover, you also realize that prices, as I said, of food inflation and other things, there is so much increase in the price of goods in the Ghanaian market, but the public sector workers have remained in the same salary for more than a year now without getting any substantive increase. And so to me, the finance minister should be coming out to tell us how he is going to address this mismatch between the public sector workers and the increase in food prices and other things to help them cope or manage with the situation. You also realize that what's the name? These people who supply the Buffer Star Company, you've heard them, you've seen the numerous times that they have been sleeping at the... Buffer Stock Company. I think na aban etimia eduane yeden feed schools, that is the so-called free SHS, and then the free school feeding. They are almost for some time now. Ya ncho omoka yina hu say na omo di mobile on crying obi kra di omo best they are di na alcohol. Matete say obi mu kra ye de anya depression aye de wuo ne de ade ni na no ye expect say the finance minister should oh well ebi ono nye say o ba be wu o ba bia o mo be ye o mo be da ho no mo eye ayi no but You know, for instance, contractors. Many contractors have died.
Many.
Yes.
Okay.
Or if let me say some contractors have died because government is owing them, and I think this even brings me back to that point too. So the finance minister, we expect that he should be able to come out with a roadmap of how as to kwanya obefa so ede anya sika etua contractors, obanya sika tua these buffer stock suppliers ne their day electricity IPPs independent power producers asema make ai nema ye expect say finance minister eba address wo kind of say this mid-year budget and so no. And then Krokrana Minoa Yokumasi is able to also tell us her clear policy outline as to how they intend to finance the Swam interchange project, because you all know Swam interchange no ahono the major business center. So all the Huakoka road project we are going to want to the how kase ebeba asantemane Ghana ina enti media sa na we na expect say ebeti every finance minister ho and na kra so ye ayi is it we call it haircut in the day pensioner sika na wo hold up to now muntimi ntuaka my client ba ko kra ne masa empire bokra call today he have to even give him money before he could go inside some TNT, that it was also on the the reverse side, and because Nisika Koka and yes, but say Nema we na finance minister Baba Yade abe Kasa na pensioners, contractors, buffer stock suppliers ne dia day abe nya peace of mind and hope. Senior Beya almost so Benya Sika Beya de Umbe families. I COVID long time ago. When government, I think as we speak, COVID by there were COVID funds and other things that were imposed. As we speak, I'm not quite sure whether government has taken off those taxes. Government is still a beneficiary to those taxes. Meanwhile, COVID is over. Okay. And then council all the time no we keep using COVID as the basis of where the economy is today. But this economy, the problems has started long time before COVID came in. And moreover, we also yana yenka benefita Ghana society from the what's the name? The IMF and then the World Bank as a result of what? COVID. And so, I think Sika Ghana because COVID buy broke any other loan that the country stood to benefit. And so you can't say and so to me that shouldn't be an excuse. He should come and do the honorable thing. He should be able to tell us. He should be able to on Timmy engineer Pentina Nema non prioritize. This is not the time. COVID and seminar, the excuses. Meanwhile, government was busy pulling down said bungalows, costing billions of Ghana cedis, all in an attempt to build what? The cathedral. It's unfortunate. We don't prioritize things like this and expect that somebody to sympathize with you. Okay. And so these are the things that expect to say or buy to address this, and then if possible, even be bold enough to tell us the lives of Cathedral they have decided to put it on hold or abandon it in the first place. I think that is my take on it.
Lawyer Isifu Mahmood and Ausheno Enyumbrei